Recently on Instagram, we've seen Tony Ferguson shave his head in his training videos. Conor McGregor has also been seen on social media with his head shaved. In a recent interview with Ariel Helwani, Tony Ferguson suggested that Conor McGregor was copying him.
That dude's all fluff, man. Like, I'm gonna be real. How are you gonna shave your head after I shave my head? Fuck, vote for Pedro, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? No. Seriously, dude, it's hot. Look at, I'm gonna start copying his. I'm gonna start taking pictures and selfies of myself. I'm gonna start mocking him and everything. You know what I mean? It's funny how the game works, but it's like how you make fun of it. And these guys are so intelligent, right? But their ego gets the best out of them. If they learn how to make fun of them and they make fun of themselves, maybe more people would like them. I'm not about that game. I'm not liked by everybody, obviously.
Conor McGregor has recently said that he has accepted to fight Dustin Poirier on his Twitter. It all started when Dustin Poirier posted this on his Twitter saying, "Hey at the Notorious MMA, what's up?" Conor McGregor responded back saying, "Hello Dustin, I accepted the UFC's offer to fight you, but told them it must happen in 2020. I'm ready for November 21st, given the card's recent injury issues, as well as any of the December dates, the 12th and the 19th. I'll also still donate the $500k to the Good Fight Foundation." Corey Anderson's first Bellator fight has been announced. He will take on Melvin Manhoef in the main event of November 5th. A 3-round featherweight bout between Arnold Allen vs Jeremy Stephens has been targeted for a UFC card on 7th of November. Arnold Allen is coming off a unanimous decision win over Nik Lentz, and Jeremy Stephens is coming off a KO loss to Calvin Kattar. Dustin Poirier on the UFC Unfiltered Podcast gives his thoughts on potentially rematching Conor McGregor this year.
I don't really know, honestly, what's going on with the whole situation. Of course, I would take the fight. I would fight him. I would fight Tony. I just want big fights, and I think that's what's coming. I'd like to fight again this year. We'll see. I haven't heard back from negotiation side of the UFC or Conor, but it's a new week and I'm hoping to hear something. At the end of the day, we fight for money, and I've always been a guy, not always, I gotta backtrack a little bit. I used to want revenge and I used to want to get even with guys, but these days, man, where I'm at with fighting, if the opportunity arose where I can avenge a loss, great, but I'm not in it for revenge or chasing these guys or trying to get even with anybody. If it's a big fight that makes sense, of course, I would love to take it, and I would love to have that win on my record. It's the biggest fight that I can possibly land in combat sports, right? A fight with Conor McGregor. And looking at it from his side, I don't know what his interest. For sure, there's some upside there. I'm number 2. Khabib said if him or Tony beat me, that he would give them a shot at the title. So if that holds any weight, you know, he's looking at that. So I don't know what his ambition is to get the title back. I don't know how hungry he is to be the UFC lightweight world champion. If it is, a fight with me makes a lot of sense to get the next title shot, right? He could push for a fight with Tony. That would be an exciting fight. I'm a fan of the sport. I think it would be a great fight to watch. But Tony's coming off of a loss. I just had the interim title. I'm number 2. I'm coming off of a win, a fight of the year contender. I think it makes more sense if you're gonna fight, and every fight is a chance and a risk, no matter how prepared you are. If you're gonna jump in there and risk something, do it with the top guy and get a title shot. Let's go.
Покажи мастер-класс. Все, 600.
Hey, another sparring day today. How you gonna do today? 5 rounds, 3 rounds? What are we doing?
I will show you my best performance, coach.
Best performance?
Yes. Do you have for me 50,000 for performance of the night?
Yeah.
Or you're gonna give me just coffee?
I give you 50,000 performance of the day, not the night, because we're in the daytime. Okay. And then maybe I'll give you a submission too, bonus. So you get $100,000.
No. I have to show performance of the day.
Performance of the day? Got it. Performance of the day. That's what we're going for?
I will, coach.
Okay.
With UFC 256 without a title fight, Aljamain Sterling recently sent a message to Petr Yan for a fight. He posted this on his Twitter saying, "I'm free that day. Petr Yan, what do you have planned?" Petr Yan responded back saying, "I heard the UFC have different plans. Hold up is not from my side. You should be worried." Aljamain Sterling ended it off with, "The only person I see worried is the guy hiding in Dagestan. Go wrestle at your effing gym." Dan Hardy in a recent media scrum says he wants to run it back with Carlos Condit.
Yeah, absolutely I would, of course. I mean, it's the only time I've ever been stopped with strikes in a fight. And as a striker, that was rather embarrassing. I mean, I laughed at it at the time, but of course, I look back and I'm like, that was stupid of me. I learned so many lessons in that fight. You know, And this I felt, and I spoke about this regarding Dominic Reyes. When you come off a fight against the world champion, and I mean, I didn't do well against GSP, but I got to 25 minutes, and then I spent the next 4 or 5 months traveling around the US, and everyone was going, a little bit of takedown defense and you'll be fine. So then I'm looking at everybody else in the division, especially Condit as a striker, and I'm thinking, well, you're not GSP, so you're not going to take me down. What do you got to offer me? And I just had complete disregard for his striking power, which was my mistake. And you can watch that fight. I mean, I stepped in 3 times through the same left hook because I'd caught him a little earlier in the fight, and I saw his eyes spin one time, and I thought, yeah, I've got his number, I've got his range now. And I got too eager to chase after it, and he set me up perfectly. You know, you watch his strikes, he mixes them up really nicely, and he caught me clean on a counter. And it was, I still hear about it from my coach. He still pokes fun at me and laughs about it. Yeah, of course, you know, he looked great the other night, and that's really what I wanted to see from him, because I do genuinely believe that he's up there with, you know, the Nick Diaz, Masvidal kind of guys in this division. He's a lethal individual. He's a natural born killer. You know, he's a great striker. He's very unorthodox, and he's back in a place psychologically as well as physically where he looks like he can have some good fights. And who would not want payback for the only person that knocked him out? Absolutely.
Aí fazendo a sombra. Primeira sombra.
Ray Longo on the Nik Lentz Jeremy Podcast gives his thoughts on Holly Holm's dominant win over Ariel Helwani.
She made a statement last night, too. I think she alluded to something that people try and tell her to retire and she'll go out on her own terms. She unequivocally told those people, I'm not going anywhere. Right. And she proved it. It's not like she just said it. You know, you hear a lot of people, they're just talking, they're on social media, they're not backing anything up. She went out and did it, man. I'm telling you, I really hats off to her. I think, again, against a girl that could punch. We know she hits hard. We know the Mexicans are 100%, they're tough as hell. She took that girl to school, and I think Aldana will grow from it. I mean, technically, Kenny, we could talk about that for days, how she just kept following her around in the circle instead of trying to cut her off. And I understand why she might have been doing that, but at some point in time, you have to abandon whatever you think was supposed to be working and try something else. And I think if she just started stepping over to her right, it would have opened up a lot of things for her.
Hey guys, between now and the end of the year, outside of my fight, which takes place in less than 20 days, what fight are you looking forward to most? Mine's Gaethje versus Chuki. I'm so excited for that one. But how about you guys? What matchup is really floating all your boats?